joining us for our 5th episode of We Burn, We Rise. Today I'm joined by Hyperion and Karma, developers Rxbbn, and Rob eventually is going to be joining us as well. Our founder Fluffy is in the chat with us. We're also joined by Joe, the founder of Easy Finance. We're happy to have you all with us today as we bring you updates with news from all across the Phoenix Initiative. Today we're going to be providing updates in regards to Fire Swap, the Phoenix Foundation, various reward tokens, and Easy Finance. Lastly, Karmageddon, where Karma will follow up with some questions for our guests before opening the chat to Q&A. Keep in mind the Q&A is going to be recorded, so we appreciate the community's adherence to keeping the discussion profanity free. First of all, I'm going to hand it over to Robin to go over updates to the DEX.
Yeah, so over the past week, kind of week and a half, I've been packing and moving. Obviously, I'm in a new place than I was the last time I was here. So some of the development with the DEX has been a little bit slow. Not to say I've been neglecting it, but I have been learning a lot of other various pieces that are going to be essential to building out some things that I want to do with the DEX. One idea I had pitched to Fluffy, and I think I pitched it to Rob as well. We might look at doing some sort of like lottery feature similar to like what you see. I don't know if Uniswap has it, but PancakeSwap does. So essentially you could get a lottery ticket for X Phoenix, and then you have a percentage chance to win the reward from that prize pool. One of the features I do want to look at adding in with that, should we decide to actually make that a reality, would be a percentage of that reward pool burned. This is something I haven't spoken about with anyone, but it's just something that I think would add some fun to the lottery feature that I'd like to see added in. Where I'm at right now is with the DEX itself is Wallet Connect is getting more functional. I've got to test a couple more things with that end and then finish up some of the retheming. What I showed previously, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, is more than likely not going to be what it looks like at the end of the day, just because my knowledge difference over the past 2 or 3 weeks is very different than where I was before. So I know a lot of different things to basically prettify the DEX, so it's it's more than just that little kind of grayish box that shows you, oh, you're swapping this token for this token. Here's the reserves for the liquidity and all that stuff. I'm trying to make it very comfortable for somebody who's new to the ecosystem to be able to use like Uniswap is. That's in the market right now. Uniswap tends to have the best UI for a DEX, in my opinion. Second would be SushiSwap if they're not neck in neck. So I'm just trying to make sure that when this goes live, all of the creature comforts are there, so you can see, oh, if I'm trading X token for Phoenix, but this token doesn't have a direct pair with Phoenix, it'll also do what's called a multi-hop, so it'll swap from X to Y and then to Phoenix. That way there's no issues if there's no liquidity between individual pairs. So that way everything's more tradable. And you can basically say, we'll say in this example, you want to trade Shiba for Doge, but Doge only has a pair with Phoenix. It would then basically follow whatever the most optimized path is to get to that end swap. And since we have extremely low gas fees, it's not going to be like on Uniswap where you're paying 40, 50, 60 bucks for that swap. It'll still be that extremely cheap fee. So other than that, I don't have a ton of updates. I am going to be working on it a lot more this week and next week. More than likely this weekend is when I do a big sprint to get everything done. We are looking at inviting some community members from the node holders to start playing around in the DEX as is, so we can make sure that one, the factory and router contracts are working properly, and then two, any specialized contracts like rebase tokens. I'm trying to think rewards tokens, that sort of stuff, that those work as well. So that might come in the next few days once we all agree that we're ready to start having other people test it. But that's kind of all the updates I have for now. A lot of it's just been learning everything I need to make sure that this is the best product we can put out right now. And as time goes on, things will change. We'll introduce more quality of life improvements, feature updates, that sort of stuff. But both feet are on the gas pedal for me, and I'm working as fast as I can. So I'm hoping I'll have something to show off and let everyone play with as soon as possible.
Awesome, awesome. Fluffy, do you want to spill the beans on any of those rewards tokens?
I mean, without knowing exactly what Rob has planned for him, although I do know that some of our duck games are going to swap out from Phoenix over to these rewards tokens. Let me find screen share on here. Share screen. All right.
By the way, Radium is the best
screen. So as you can see, I have, what was it, sharing?
No, it is not.
Oh, what happened? I really don't like Telegram.
It says share screen.
Yeah, I'm clicking on share screen. Oh, I see. You're supposed to click on the actual screen.
The window. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. There you go.
So now you guys can see it. So I've got smoke here. We've got water. We've got wind. We've got Preparation H. That was another test contract. Don't worry about that one. Unless you guys need some Preparation H, then let me know. I can send you some just for fun. We have air. There's quite a few of them in here, actually. Let me see what else we got. Oh, stone. We have iron. We have wood. And mist and dirt. And there's a few others as well. But yeah, so those are all completed and ready to go into some of the new games that Rob's working on. Oh, I stopped sharing. There we go. Okay, so that's that. Rob's kind of digging into Battle Ducks. I was hoping he would join in and talk about it today, but he's kicking it into overdrive now that we have the tokens ready.
And Fire just posted a picture of a couple of them too in the chat.
Great. Way to cheat, Fire.
Look at what you started.
What did he do? Post pictures of ducks?
Oh,
No, ashes ignite fire. Wind and mist.
Okay. There we go.
Mist with a Y.
What's that big gray block that's in that picture?
Preparation H.
Yeah, I don't see Preparation H on there. Actually, did you get some Preparation H, Rxbbn?
Yes, I did. I got 69.
For ashes?
I know Joe wants some Preparation H, don't you, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
I'll send you some, buddy.
Hey, speaking of that lottery thing, so I was on a voice chat, not a voice chat, a Twitter space yesterday with Chronic Cats, and he was mentioning that we might have something on Phoenix.
Yes.
Okay. Contract's already done.
Very cool.
Yeah. So Dustin has been playing around with a couple of new contracts, both for Chronic, but also just various different communities. Let me see if I can pull up the message from him. But they're essentially lottery contracts is the best way to put it. One of the ones, and I don't know if I can talk about this or not, so I'm going to ask for forgiveness instead of permission because it's just cool. Is essentially he's working on doing like community. Let me see here. There's the message. So he is doing a community prize pool contract. Essentially, the way this one works is every week community members can pay into the pool, and then every week on a specified day, a random contributor gets 100% of the funds accumulated that week. So that's one of the ones he's playing around with right now. But he also has like an NFT version of it, which was that Manic Mouse Millionaires that he deployed on Phoenix, I want to say like a month or two ago. And the way that one works is essentially you mint the NFT, and then every subsequent NFT after that has a chance, not a chance, but it will give back, I think that one was set to 40% of the mint cost to one random holder. So let's say you mint the first one and then 10 people mint after you. That second mint is guaranteed to essentially go back to you, or that 40% of that mint cost goes back to you. And then it just kind of falls down the line and it's a random number generated. So X person can win as many times, but there's a couple other features in there where if the collection or token mints out within a specified time, X percentage of what is held within the contract is distributed to one single holder. So in the case of like Phoenix, let's say the contract has 3,000 Phoenix in it from X amount of mints. At the end of that, 40% is sent from the contract to one random holder, and then the developer can take a percentage fee or decide to send the entire pot to that one person. So I know Justin's been having some fun playing around on Phoenix with those concepts because it's just so much cheaper and doesn't cost anything for him to deploy it, but it's a good way to energize communities, whether it's Phoenix or any other community. But he can point them all back to here because it's so cheap for him to deploy those contracts.
Speaking of, so what did I launch? Like 9 plus, right about 13, 14, 15 contracts yesterday. I didn't even use a quarter Phoenix, not even 0.25 Phoenix to deploy over X amount of contracts yesterday.
That's
including
amazing.
all of my test transactions between those. It was absolutely amazing. Like I could deploy them all day long and still not even come close to touching one Phoenix.
Yeah,
That's Dustin was saying something similar actually on the space as well. Like he could completely deploy his project, and it didn't even cost him more than he makes from the faucet that we have in our Discord. Which is like, you can collect from the faucet every 8 hours, so that's amazing, right?
Well, it gives lots of options too, because things that you can't do on Ethereum. I mean, essentially, it's Ethereum just with no transaction fees, so it leaves the possibilities endless on how many on what you can do. I mean, like I've been playing around and I can keep, making changes to contracts, and it doesn't cost me anything. I mean, it's literally valueless in the way of transactions. And it leaves a lot more room for testing out things that typically you wouldn't be able to do or afford to be able to do if it was on Ethereum.
You mean it's $100 a transaction?
Yeah. And even then, like our mainnet is fast, and testnet currently are faster than, say, Ethereum's Rxbbn testnet. One of the projects I've been working with and doing some freelance work for, I want to say last weekend when we were working on finishing a couple of things, like we were deploying some stuff on Rxbbn, and it was just so slow. I think it took like 20 or 30 minutes for confirmations on some of the things we needed, like immediate access to. And Justin was in that call and he's like, why don't you guys just ask Jack for like 2 Phoenix and just deploy it on there and test it there, because it's going to work the same. You just don't have to worry about the 20-minute confirmation on Rxbbn, even if you're on Phoenix mainnet or testnet.
I mean, due to the cost and the speed, honestly, I think we're going to kill every other network just because developers can actually develop. I mean, we have tons of freedom now.
Mm-hmm.
Developers.
Exactly.
It's the low gas fees for me.
I can't tell you guys how many times I have went in and it was like, okay, this is gonna be great. Then I see the gas fees; it costs more than what I'm trying to get, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
meh, is it really worth it? Meh.
Yeah, and the projects are amazing that you want to follow, and you're like, oh, I can't. Come on, it's $100. What do you guys want?
And it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, nobody wants to spend the same amount in gas fees as they're spending on any asset. I mean,
Or
like
more.
Or more. I mean, one of the projects I'm helping out, I was like, oh, I need this single thing to test one of these functions I'm building out. And I'm like, can somebody send one to me? Because I don't want to go buy one of these NFTs on my own. So I'm like, yeah, the NFT, $30, no big deal. I'm fine with that. But I'm not paying $150 in gas on average. Now, granted, Ethereum fees are a little bit lower right now, but even then it's still $30 for me to mint something or do a swap. And that's $30 I'm not willing to spend because it's pointless.
Yeah, I'm barely making it on petroleum gas fees, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
all the gas is against us.
I guess I'll go ahead and break the news. So one of the other tasks I was tasked with too this week is to, once I have our wrapped Phoenix fully functional, depending on which one we decide to use, whether it's Robin's or mine, I'm going to take that and bridge it over to BSC, and then we'll also be on Pancake Swap, or a version of Phoenix will be on Pancake Swap.
Oh, cool.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge market.
Yeah, and then one other thing, I guess I just forgot to mention this, but this goes kind of alongside the DEX. For those that don't know, which is all of our community members, we did finally hear back a little bit more from Multichain. Multichain? I think that's the right one. If you don't know who they are, they're essentially a bridge service that will allow you to bridge any asset to virtually any chain. And where we're at with them is they have approved us for the bridge. All we need to do is basically go through the initial setup to get that bridge functional. And then once we get everything all sorted out with that, we should be mostly good to go with a fully functional bridge between Phoenix to Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, and other various networks. Yeah. So it'll open up the doors big time for us because that will mean you'll be able to get wrapped versions of Ethereum, Bitcoin, any other tokens. And for developers that are creating tokens, they'll be able to bridge those over to our chain as well.
Speaking, well, not to change the subject, but Spaz, when did you cut your hair? You're starting to look like the Spaz I remember from years ago. 2 years ago.
Yes. I feel so much better.
He's looking more dapper, and I'm starting to look more like an ogre. Letting everything grow.
Think of the savings on shampoo.
Oh, somebody should open up the floor for Joe and let him talk about Easy Connect.
Go ahead. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, tell us about your thing.
Easy Finance now. Yeah, so...
Sorry, I've been around since...
yeah, it's cool.
A long time now.
It's changed so many times now. But, no, so the one thing I was talking to Hyperion is pretty soon I'm going to start listing Solana. He was talking about maybe listing Wax. Basically, I'm going to start making it to where I'm going to get bridge deposits, what you guys were talking about. So then that could work together to where you could instantly deposit any asset and trade it and not have to worry about converting it back and forth. So that's where I think Phoenix could really step in with the cheap fees, with the bridge deposits, and just make it easy to trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and connect it both together with the bridge you guys are making. And that's where I think my exchange is really going to stand out because it'll be cheap, basically cheap withdrawals. Yeah.
Is it ready for me to share this? Do you want to share your exchange on screen?
So yeah, I don't want to share it quite yet. I'm still waiting for the new UI to be developed.
Okay.
My dev was taking a little longer time than I thought was going to happen. But I'm hoping in like the next 2 days, the new homepage is going to be ready to show. And once that happens, I'd be glad to start sending it out more. Maybe we can do another video once the new UI is up. A couple of things I'm working on adding is the new homepage. I'm redeveloping the store interface, which is basically going to allow you to have a buyer and seller account all on the exchange. So you'll be able to deposit your money, sell, do whatever you want, and then withdraw it to any other, wallets, exchanges. So that's another thing I'm working on adding to the exchange. And then, I got a membership that I'm working on adding to, which will cost 1 Easy Finance token, and you can get unlimited trades. And so eventually I'm going to bridge Easy Finance token to Phoenix. So that's another thing that they'll help out, is getting that membership going on Phoenix, so where it'll be cheap and easy to get.
Joe, one question I do have for you as far as Easy Finance goes. So what other EVM-based chains are you planning on adding support for? Because I know a good portion of people that kind of started helping us generate hype for Phoenix came from the Kronos community, but there's not a lot of options for them to do that. So I was just curious if you had any ideas about adding that.
I was actually looking into adding Kronos too, because I know that's starting to get pretty popular. And I also, Solana is another one that there's no exchanges that really support Solana yet. And it's basically, just, I think Binance and maybe Crypto.com support Solana, I think.
And KuCoin.
Yeah, in which I don't know how many people trust them right now with the hack that they had recently. So, but those are two. I'm definitely going to get Ethereum added in. It's just I've kind of been avoiding them with the high transaction fees. It doesn't seem like it makes sense to have that added in yet. So, but yeah,
isn't it one day Ethereum 2.0, 10 years?
Yep.
Apparently they're talking about August now, which I don't believe at all, because they're like, "Oh, we're going to do April," and then April came around. They're like, "Maybe not."
Yeah, they're like,
what happened with KuCoin? Did I miss something?
No, this was a while ago. They recently had a security breach, but I mean, I don't know.
It's funny because they're always asking for money for a security deposit. And I said, why? Our blockchain's way more secure than, an exchange.
Yeah, and they're not.
You should be paying us.
So if your money's stolen, it's gone. And I mean,
that's why I tell them, no, you should be paying us a security deposit. That way, if you screw over our investors, we can pay them back.
I mean, did you guys see that Coinbase just said if they go bankrupt, they can basically take all your funds off your wallet and basically say, we have to pay that with the money to pay them back.
Not your keys, not your funds, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So if it's not FDA assured, then, I mean, that's a future plan for my exchange is, to get fully, federal regulated, at some point, that way people know if they get hacked, their funds are safe. Obviously, that's going to happen way down the road, but that's another plan.
Finance is registered fully in America, and Joe is completely doxxed. So don't send him any care packages.
Yeah. This is my first time going in public like this. So.
One thing I do want to say real quick, I did just flip on the form that I dropped in chat for accepting responses. So if you are here today, please leave your Telegram handle and your wallet address to get your weekly NFT.
Speaking of, I think I still have to. I'm waiting on episode 4, so I can make that. And I still have to send out episode 3. I'll make that my to-do list for today.
Yeah, so I'll shoot you that right now.
But episode 4, I think we're waiting on Fire. Hint, Fire. I know you're listening.
He magically disappeared, of course, right now. He's gone.
I still need the duck for episode 4 and then episode 5.
I think I had that one done, but maybe I don't.
There's Fire. I just heard him.
That buttery smooth voice.
I haven't heard that voice in a while.
I've never heard that voice.
Oh,
Oh.
I
There it
actually
is.
knew him in person before. I guess he had Telegram before that. Or I knew him in person before he actually even had a Telegram account. So he's a man of mystery.
Episode 4 duck is done.
Cool.
Oh well, then I guess I need it.
It's
Yeah,
it's the
smell.
Hyperion duck.
Oh, so what's today's duck going to be? Is it going to be a Karmageddon or is it going to be a Joe duck?
I haven't decided. We'll have to see. Depends on who gives me the best face today.
Did you
Or-
add the
or-
little accessory by chance, or?
Oh, that's right. That's what I forgot. Okay, so it's not done yet. I got to add an accessory to it.
Or you could do a Joe and Karmageddon duck.
And Joe Mageddon duck.
It'll just be a regular Joe.
Karma, your mic's muted.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, Fire, I'm going to get with you on that Karma duck. I want full metal jacket Karma duck.
Full metal jacket.
No, you're just going to get a Crypto Phoenix shirt. That's all.
I need a heavy artillery duck.
Speaking of Karmageddon, Karma, I believe you got some questions for Joe if you'd like to kick us off into Karmageddon.
Absolutely. Hey, Joe. Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to meet
Karma.
you too.
So I did my own research on the site. It's great. It looks nice.
Thank you.
So I did have a couple questions, just so you can cover some things for people that are completely new to you and your project. Okay, so when I went in and I was doing my surfing and everything on the site, I noticed you have different type of accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So I see you're operating as individual accounts or institution account. What's the difference between those two?
Yeah, so in the future, right now, there's not too much difference. But when I opened up the store, there'll be a business account, and then there'll be like an individual account where you can have, you can set up a business banking account. You can connect to the store and basically just run your whole business, whatever you're selling online. And then an individual account will just be like a typical investor checking/savings account in the future.
Yeah.
So it's nothing different yet, but it will be once the new UI gets added in.
That's pretty cool. So when someone's signing up, is it by invite only, or if you know about the site, you can go and sign up for the site?
No, it's you can just go and sign up. There's no invite only right now.
Okay, no, that's totally cool. I've seen somewhere on the site. I know I've seen something where it asks for like a token code or something.
Yeah, you can get a referral. Like you can earn if you sign up underneath someone. So you can earn. In the future, I'll have Easy Finance private shares, which you can start earning per sign up. And the idea is in the future, once you go to a certain point, have an IPO, and that's each time you get a new person to sign up, you can earn one of those shares for free. So
that's pretty cool. I'm already signed up, so I'm glad I'm in that thing already. Okay. Okay. Now, as far as the site go, how is it user friendly? So if like what level of investing knowledge would someone need to actually successfully use the site?
So that's like the main, like the long-term goal is to make it to where you basically just sign up. You can put a credit card in. Any transaction over $9,000 would have to be KYC'd. Other than that, you can just sign up, link your bank account, and you can start buying crypto. With fiat, it's going to be something a little different. I'm going to have Easy Dollar, which pretty much any fiat that you deposit onto the exchange, you can convert to Easy Dollar, which will be a stable coin. And then if you want to redeem that fiat, then you just redeem it on your account. So you're not trading like a normal trade would be, but it's all built into a liquidity pool. So basically, you'll see all the amount of liquidity that Easy Dollar has. That way, you can see it's fully backed, and it's not just like Tether, where somehow they randomly just print $1 billion worth of their stable coin. So
that sounds good. Okay, so when do you plan on opening like the other sections of the site? I know you're going to launch the new page. What you say, in a couple days?
That's the plan, but I know, as Robin probably knows, sometimes it doesn't always happen out the way you want it to. So.
Of course. So
But
the sections in your page, like the I know only crypto is open right now. So the
yep,
stocks, commodities,
stock
and the fiat, that's coming
most
this year.
it might be like probably 2 years once we get the right
Mhm.
licenses and everything, because obviously
Mhm.
that's a very highly regulated section. So
Mhm.
start with cryptocurrency, build the community. Once that's built, we'll work towards getting the stocks, which basically those are going to be all backed on Phoenix, and they're going to be backed 1-to-1 with the original stock, so you can trade it faster. And it's kind of the idea is to try and create like a hybrid stock/cryptocurrency exchange.
Uh-huh.
So
That's really
yeah,
amazing. So glad you got, your shoot in with Phoenix. That's really
yep,
good. Yeah.
yeah, they're cheap fees make it pretty much easy to do anything you want. So
So what about, okay, so you spoke on, I know the other projects you have, you said is Easy Dollar and Easy Connect.
yep. So, well, Easy Connect is eventually going to move to Easy Finance. I'm in the process of like basically combining everything into one right now.
Mm-hmm.
So before it was kind of just like testing how I want to do it, but I want to make it like I'm working on installing a crypto price page, and the
Mm-hmm.
idea is to combine like a social interaction with learning and trading, and kind of combine that together to make it so people can kind of start seeing what coins are trending and what the prices are real time and all that.
That's pretty heavy. I know so many people, they want to throw their money up in there, but they don't want to really, they
Yeah,
don't
they
want
don't
to
want
be
to.
involved. They don't
They
want to do,
they
they
just
don't
want
want
to
to
go
do
for
any
the first
research or
coin that
nothing.
says that, hey, we're going to make you millions, even though there's no team, there's nothing actually, backing the project. This is
Mm-hmm.
we built this token, and you should invest in us. And that's kind of what I want to change, is to make an exchange that, in order to get listed, you have to be, verified. You have to be a token or a coin that's actually like back in the Coinbase days, when someone got listed on Coinbase, it meant something. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just, that's what
Something
I want to
random.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last thing I wanted to touch on is your membership packs. I know you said earlier you were going to have different membership packs. I noticed you have a section on ways people can earn, like
Yep.
trading incentives, and you can
Yep.
apply for listing, and people can actually get votes or vote on adding a coin
Yeah.
to.
So with the staking, there's a
Mhm.
couple different things I'm working on. Is if you stake, you can earn governance voting power. So like, let's say you put 400 tokens in, you can stake that, and you can use that tokens to the voting power to list new tokens in the future, and that kind of guides it to a community-based voting type thing. And also, I have yearly dividends. So my goal is to make it a little different, where it's not a flat 8%. It's
Mhm.
8% of based on what the company is earning yearly, based on what you're holding. So that way, it's not just saying we're going to pay you a flat 8% yearly. It's pretty much, the profit that our company is making will pay you 8% yearly, based on the amount of EFT that you're holding or staking in the account.
That's pretty heavy. I like that. You're not getting
So
the bare minimum every year.
yeah, it's it kind of makes you more motivated to want to help promote the company, because it'll make you earn more too. So
Absolutely. I like that. Well, that's all I had. I really like what you got going, Joe. I'm
thank
definitely
you.
going to get the word out there for you as well, because I do know a lot of old heads, and it's this is a whole foreign language to them. So I
Yeah.
think I think your project would definitely help a lot of other people get
Yep.
get in the curve.
And obviously, making it easy to get into Fi, I think, is another thing that would really help out, because
Hmm.
I don't think most beginner investors, they probably want to get into DeFi and get on a DEX, but they're not going to know how. So if you can make it easy to start purchasing and then transfer over to something else, it'll
Hmm.
be, a lot better.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Fluffy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw him.
Seen him breakdancing over there.
Yeah. I'm really trying to keep a straight face. all over my
Going out to lunch with Fluffy. It's the same, just a little more childish.
I'm all for it.
I'm proud to call him our founder.
Thank you, Karma. Is there anybody that has something they want to ask in the Telegram?
For those that don't know, Joe's actually been around with Crypto Phoenix for a while, and I actually met him, I think, from Rob. Rob's known Joe for quite a while.
Yeah, he was one of the first people that really got me going into different communities and stuff and start marketing more and getting to know people. So
I can say the Phoenix family is the first real legitimate project I've been a part of that wasn't trying to scam me or some type of pyramid scheme, something they want you to pay into and
Long game.
I don't know.
Long game.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. My own cousin tried and I was just looking at her like, you buying this? Yeah, get into it. No, girl. No. I'll go buy some bananas first. No, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best parts about, I guess, our project as a whole is like we're not trying to sell anyone on anything. It's here's what we're working on, regardless of if you buy in or not. Most of us don't care. Like at the end of the day, we're just trying to build something better than what currently exists. If you choose to buy in, cool, that's awesome. If you don't, same sentiment. It's just we're trying to provide tools for developers and people within whatever community to make crypto as a whole more accessible, I think would be the best way to put it, and avoid all of the extreme fees that keep the average person out of Ethereum, which is the easiest one to onboard into right now. Because like a good example would be like my mom, when I was talking to her about Ethereum and how all of the stuff that I do daily works, she was like, so you're telling me that if I wanted to convert this to this, it would cost me this much money? I was like, yeah, pretty much. She was like, I don't want to touch it then. That's a waste of money to do that when at the end of the day, it's just the second you do that trade, you now have to compensate for the gas fee for that. And then like, let's say you're a business. Yes, you can write off gas fees as a tax deductible expense, but still that's money that you're wasting right there. So the more we build out and just provide to everyone, I think the faster we're going to see more mainstream adoption. I mean, Polygon was the first big success with low fees, in my opinion, but their network is just so slow. From my experience, some people have good results with it. I've personally never enjoyed using Polygon. They've got a good team behind them. They've got really good brains, but the network itself is just not fun to interact with. So I think like Polygon would probably be
same with Solana.
Same with Solana. I mean, I can't remember which chat I was in listening to this, but somebody pointed out that basically with crypto, you have 3 options and you can only pick 2 of them. You can get speed, security, or decentralization. Can't pick, or you generally can't get all 3 100%. And right now where we're at, we are prioritizing speed and security, but we do have kind of a closed proof of work system right now. Now, eventually that's going to open up once we have everything finalized. Wish Rob was here today to explain on some of those topics a little bit more.
Well, part of what he was supposed to talk about today, which I think Hyperion's already cracked on, which is the Great Happening. And since Rob's...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw it in Discord. Yeah, I see everything, buddy. So for those that don't know about the Great Happening, think of it as like Bitcoin. They do a halvening, so the amount of rewards that you get per block are essentially halved every X amount of blocks. And since Phoenix right now, we're currently mining 2 rewards per block, that amount's going to get cut in half. So you're going to get 1 Phoenix per block. Eventually it'll keep decreasing and decreasing So then the rewards are going to become more valuable, but in less quantity as we go up. This will also keep our node holders in check, because there's any node holders that are doing massive mining and keeps them from dumping. So when you see a low price point like it is now on Zezix or Easy Finance, or are we on Easy Connect? I keep forgetting. We started on Easy Finance, I think, at one time, right? We back to there? You're muted, Joe.
You're muted.
I'm going to take that head nod as like, yeah, we're back to Easy Finance.
Shoot, sorry, my mic was muted.
So I think we're back to Easy Finance, which is good because that's one we talked about a long time ago. I was like, Easy Connect sounds weird. Just Easy Finance. Yeah, I like that.
It's getting like 2,000 views a month, so I don't think I should switch that now.
Yeah, if it's on EFT, let's stick with EFT. So Easy Finance. Where was I going? Squirrel.
People selling.
Yeah, okay, that's a wrap, guys.
That's right. So the prices that you're seeing now, we're really close to having our decks go live. We're really close to having our marketplace go live. I do see the decks probably getting completed before the marketplace now, only because there's a lot more to the marketplace. And Block Matrix, another one of our partners, they've been hammering over it day and night. And since Fire C requires, we could deploy probably today. It just wouldn't feel like a completed project, especially when OpenSea and looks rare, they keep coming out with new updates. So the idea is not to deploy something that is less than what people are accustomed to. The idea is to at least give them everything that they're accustomed to plus more. So, if you're going to send something out into the world, you want it to be right. And, that's one good thing with a decentralized exchange. Updates are usually really, really small and imperceptible because it's usually back-end work, very little on the front end. So I think Robin's going to beat him on that part, but that'll still go live, which is great because we have a lot of cryptocurrencies that want to bridge onto the Phoenix network or deploy onto the Phoenix network. There's a lot of people that have been waiting on that. But that also gives Phoenix more utility because then people need Phoenix in order to swap for X amount of tokens, like say Shiba. If they want to get into the Shiba project, they would need to buy Phoenix and then swap the Phoenix for Shiba, just like with Ethereum or BNB, et cetera, et cetera. So on that note, by having the amount that our node holders get as rewards will, essentially increase the value of it because they become a lot harder to get. And then you've got people like me and the team and a lot of our holders that they won't give up the Phoenix at all. They're not going to give it up. We're like a really expensive date.
Yeah, like me personally, I got the CoinMarketCap notification. I think it was like yesterday or the day before that somebody dumped a ton of Phoenix on Rxbbn, and I was like, I don't like Rxbbn, but we'll just buy up the supply. And so I bought between 5 cents and I think 30 cents or something. And that Phoenix is going to be sitting on there for a long time because I'm not paying that 0.03 ETH fee to withdraw it to my wallet. If those get lost, stolen, whatever, consider them burned. But I think all of us, when we can, we still try to buy up as much as possible because at the end of the day, yes, we are developers and just people that are on the team, but we still go about getting it in the same way as everyone else. It's not like a BSC dev that mints a portion of the supply to their wallet. We're all getting it the same way anyone within the community can.
Right now, actually, I did the math on Zezix this morning, and it was less than $2,200 to bring us right back up to 90 something cents, which is not very much. Meaning that whoever's giving away their future for pizza is pretty much almost out. I'll be happy to see that person gone. So if you're watching this, and I know you are.
Another Bitcoin pizza day.
Yeah, we're talking about you.
Yeah, so I'm looking at.
Hopefully it's good pizza, like Pizza Man's Pizza.
Pizza Man, pizza. Pizza Man.
Oh, Pizza Man has like a national institution in New Jersey, if I remember right.
There you
Fire
go,
might have something for us.
Thanks for the.
Oh,
Oh, Pete,
I say bring the heat fire. I
Pete,
love that design.
Pizza's talking. I got him on.
Thanks for the plug, Fluffy. I'm out and about, so I don't know if it's loud here. I'm in the street, but I'm listening. I got my AirPods on.
Guess who's going to be in New York next month?
Oh yeah, you're coming?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be in NYC. I'll be in NYC in early June. So.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll meet up for sure. We'll meet up for sure. But I'm enjoying the what is it? The We Burn We Rise episode. So I'm just listening in, guys. You guys are doing great things. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
You got it.
Core team, go take a look at chat real quick. I say yes to what Fire
It's
said.
up to Fluffy, I guess. I got yelled at today, so.
To what?
Joe.
Yeah,
Core.
Joe,
Okay.
Joe, unmute real quick.
yeah, I am.
I forgot to ask.
Oh my God! I have to share this. Hold on. What? Hold on. I've got to share this.
Okay.
Let's see if I.
Sorry,
Do you want me to-
we got Fluffy excited about something.
Do you want me
that's
to
actually
preface
good.
this?
Let me see.
Do I need to preface this?
Hold on.
He didn't light up, and then I saw it. I saw like, oh, yep, he's here.
Oh, where's that share screen? There we go.
All right, do I need to preface it first? You're just going to go for it.
I would say preface it, because
Okay.
you and I will be working on that together.
Okay, so
Oh,
most of you guys should
Hey.
know that that's not it. That's definitely not it.
yeah, that wasn't it. Whoops.
The
Okay, so most
simulation
of you
is
guys will know
real.
that Rob has been working nonstop on
Okay.
making sure the Phoenix Initiative has been something more than just a random coin or random blockchain, and he's really working hard behind the scenes to get stuff going on. And one of the things he's working on is an IPFS server, and just a way for people to be able to upload their
Damn
NFTs.
you. I wanted to share this.
Oh, you're sharing? Okay, go for it then. My bad.
All right. I'm going to share that with that. Can you guys see it now?
You might want to click on the image, but yeah,
What do you mean? Didn't I?
just open the
No.
whole image.
Oh, I hate Telegram so bad.
God, you're such a boomer.
Oh my gosh, do I need to share my
Shut up.
Oh my
my
god. Reality.
Okay, somebody else do it. I give up.
I'll share my screen,
I figured
okay?
out a Rob when you or Robin when you.
All right.
Yeah, I'll share
I give
my
up.
screen. Okay. Let me do this. Tell
At
me.
least I'm pretty, though, right?
There we go.
That's not helping either.
Can you
Hey,
see
I
that?
can see something. Now click on it.
You guys
Oh,
are
you're
so
such
bad.
a boomer, Rxbbn.
You guys are. So
I clicked
bad.
on the image.
You know what? I'm going to fix this. Go ahead.
Okay,
That's
fine.
all right.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay, so back to
reality as you know it is broken. I'll put it on my desktop and we'll save it there, and then I'll open it on my desktop.
Okay, so back to what we're talking about. Okay, so the IPFS servers. And so obviously the solutions that are out there are not always the greatest, and they're not the quickest or easiest to understand or use. And so what we wanted to do is put something out there that was easy to understand, easy to use, wouldn't be crazy expensive to use, and give people a way to get their NFTs available, or just anything they want to really store at that point, because this can be used to store really anything. Plus, this can be the backbone of what FireSea is going to be. So this is where we're going to be, storing all of our NFTs as well. But coming up with the design for PIPFS is what we're calling it. And so as soon as he gets it up there, you guys will see what this design is going to be about. And this is what we're kind of starting.
Is it
with right
working?
now.
Is it working? I can't tell.
My goodness.
You gotta
Oh,
share
this-
your screen, sir.
I am sharing my screen.
Must
There you
press
go.
the button.
There it is.
There we go.
Okay.
Woo! Timmy.
All right. So
Oh,
this is the prototype for the PIPFS website that we'll be building out, or that's being built out slowly. So
I actually like the color scheme.
Yeah,
I
it's
do
gonna
really
It's a little-
cute.
It's a little less,
It's cute.
boy toys.
Sausagey.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of T-Mobile. Like, how much data have I used this month?
Win lawsuit. Win
there
lawsuit.
you go.
It's okay. I know some people over there. We're
All
fine.
the lawsuits. But anyways, so figure
As long as the Pantone's different, so we're okay.
everybody gets to showcase things. So I figure it's my turn to showcase something.
All right. I guess stop screen sharing that. How do I do this?
For those that don't know, Fire is also the artist behind the ducks and every viewer
There we go.
NFT. So,
Hmm.
and everything. He's the media master.
Should I share that with the main chat so everyone can click on it?
I would say it's the beta version. So just say, beta version.
Yeah, I mean it's prototype at best.
Cool. I just
Yeah,
I know a lot of people like to see that we are working on stuff.
Oh, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, not smoke and mirrors.
There's
We're
so
all
many things that I'm supposed to be
Well,
designing that
just
are just
that's smoke and mirrors, smoke and Red Bulls.
Oh,
I'm glad people get to see what's going on behind the scenes. I think they think, we just kind of chit chat and drink Red Bulls all day.
Fluffy's like,
We don't.
Well, there is some of that. There is some of that, to be fair.
Of course not.
No, but I mean, like, coming from my experience with like crypto outside of stuff with Phoenix, I mean, a lot of people have kind of trauma from the amount of rug pulls and stuff's happening behind closed doors. We'll announce things later. That, I mean, it's hard to believe anyone's word in this space anymore. I mean, I've seen fully doxed developers rug pull projects and just go, all right, bye. And
Hey, Robin, what's your experience with crypto? So those that are new here have an idea.
I've been in crypto since 2014, and my biggest mess up of all time was losing the keys to my wallet with 400,000 Dogecoin right around the time Doge hit all-time high.
Oh, no.
Didn't
And
pay for any. And I worked for BitBoy Crypto.
okay, there we go. So
I was confused.
He's got a little. He's got a little experience.
Yeah, so I know a good bit about the market, overall sentiments from, or overall mentality from your average retail investor all the way up to people that are more institutional. So at the end of the day, like, it puzzles me
So-
how a lot of these crap coins actually.
So
still-
you're saying Phoenix stole you away from BitBoy?
Yes, in my heart.
Aww.
It's a burning passion, if you will.
You might want to get that checked out. They make a cream for that.
The biggest bag I want to say I fumbled way back in the day when Bitcoin was just new on the scene. Someone was trying to give me some, real old friend. Here, get into it. It's going to be something one day. And I was like, you're not on my face. I don't care. Some odd years later, I'm looking at Bitcoin like,
Ooh.
Yeah,
So you had a pizza situation.
yeah. Back then, I didn't even care. I was half-ass listening anyway. So it was just like, maybe I should have listened. So from then on, I started reading and listening.
Yeah. Best thing that I've heard is time in the market beats timing the market. The longer you are in crypto, the better off you are. Even if you have $5 in it today, you're still going to be better off, or significantly better off than the people that are getting in tomorrow with the same $5. Sure, that price can fluctuate, but the more time you spend in the market, learning, reading, talking to people on teams or people in communities, the better idea you can get the better idea you can get on everything around crypto. I mean, a lot of the same things are happening in a lot of different projects. People are constantly innovating. And it's, for me, being in this space for so long, like, it's crazy to see things that I thought would never take off or never do anything actually at the place they're at today. Like, this one hurt me I want to say like 3 months ago. I had bought, when I was 16 or 17, something like that, I had bought like $200 worth of Ethereum. At the time, Ethereum was like $20 or $30. And then I go into my Robinhood and I see sell transactions like 2 months after I bought it. It was a good gain, but I'm like, I should have never sold a dime of that. And then I also see matching transactions of Doge, because that's what I had, like, that was my introduction into crypto when I was 14 or 15. Like, my brothers and I mined it. We did all the faucets, because it was kind of the same deal with Bitcoin, where you could go to the faucet, fill out the CAPTCHA, and you'd get a significant chunk, or what you thought was a significant chunk at the time, that was only worth like a quarter of a penny at best. And then just saying, oh, I screwed up by selling that.
I mean, do you remember when people were tipping thousands of Dogecoin? Just like, hey, it's worth nothing anyway. Here's thousands of Dogecoin.
I was one of those people. Like, when I was in high school, I had a couple miners mining Dogecoin. It's giving me like a couple thousand Doge per day. And I would just give it out to some friends. I'm like, hey, this might be worth something in the future, might not be, I don't know. It's a fun meme, because that was at the peak Doge memes when they were first introduced. So I was like, here, have these. I hope to God some of them kept it, like, because they would be so much better off than I am today, because I think collectively I probably passed out like 200,000 Doge, which today's number is a little bit lower than where it was last year, but at all-time high, I mean, even 1,000 Doge was close to like $700 or $800.
Yeah, I made the same mistake selling hundreds of thousands, but
I remember when
Binance
launched,
and
it was like, what, 45 cents a coin? That was probably my mistake, not buying that.
Yeah, there's so many things that I've seen in the market that I'm like, I'll get that next week, or I'll get that next paycheck, and then I go back and I don't get it that next paycheck, and I'm like, why did I do this to myself again and again? So.
I forgot to mention earlier, Joe, I was going to mention to those watching that you're also going to be renting out mining rigs, right?
Yeah, so in the near future, I have like a whole cloud mining set up. That's probably going to be, I would say, in the next 5 to 6 years, that's the plan, is to use, get a whole facility, rent them out on the exchange, and you can earn easy dollar in rewards in return for, renting out the cloud machines. So,
I'm excited to see Easy Finance blow up.
Yeah.
You're going to be like a one-stop shop, man.
Yep, that's the plan.
yeah, they also have a token on CoinGecko tracked, right? Do you want me to post that link?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Easy Finance token.
Has anybody spilled the news about the other two Robs that have joined our community?
If 2 other Robs.
They're not. Their names aren't Rob, but they're equivalent to their skill level with Rob.
Oh, which one?
Julian and...
Yeah, Julian.
So if you guys thought Rob was too much to take...
He has no excuses. He should have been on today.
Yeah,
Inside.
I know Rob had some big things going on. Wasn't he setting up his office and everything this week or something like that?
Yeah, he's getting his PC ready and a whole office set up. So we have a place to run everything via Phoenix and all of the companies.
And how many coins actually fulfill a foundation? that they talk about, right? How many projects have talked, oh, we're going to get a foundation? Yeah. Yeah.
They get the ICO, they get all the money, and then they run.
Mm-hmm. That's why we had none. We didn't have a funding round. Everything is voluntary, so we're not. We're not.
We did have
Oh,
a funding round. We had a funding round for the paperwork to get submitted for the foundation.
That was internal, though, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the note holders gratefully helped get that ready, and now everything's all being finalized, which is
Am I getting my badge soon? Where's my badge?
Hey, you haven't earned it yet, Hyperion.
Badge.
You have to drink 12 full 20-ounce cans of Red Bull a day in order to get a badge.
Oh, I'm in.
I don't know if my kidneys can tolerate that.
What's a kidney?
There.
I already punished myself with too much alcohol, so I think I'll stick to no Red Bull.
Does somebody want to explain what PIPFS does for Pizza Man? I just saw that question pop up.
So PIPFS is an interplanetary file system. So whereas most people assume that NFTs are stored on a blockchain, that image isn't actually stored on a blockchain. You wouldn't be able to store multiple images on a blockchain. You would just clog it down. So the way it works is it's done via, so say I have a JPEG image or an MP3, MP4, whatever file type. I can store that on an IPFS system. Then I can take the link that I get from that. This is how an NFT is also created. So the image that I want to see for the NFT, I can then create a JSON file using the directory for that image, that JPEG, MP3, MP4, whatever the file type is, and then use that link inside of a JSON file that calls on it. And I can store that link, or I can mince that link as my NFT, so to speak. So that way, when we look it up on the Explorer, we actually see it. But in actuality, it's just a link. Like you'll see an external URL, and then you'll see another URL. The external URL on our Explorer will usually take you to a place like if I want to link, send people to our Telegram link, I can send it there. And then the other URL is usually our image or MP3, MP4, whatever it is that we want to see. So that's what we're actually storing on the blockchain as an address, essentially, so to speak.
Yeah,
and that's what an IPFS system, which is roughly about a $500 million a year company in revenue. So as much as we like to think that Phoenix is like our big ticket winner, and all of our other projects are huge big ticket items, in reality the IPFS system is a massive project. And then the fact that all of our images are watermarked, all of our file types are watermarked, so people can't just steal them, they have to essentially own them. That gives people like an infinite number of possibilities. Like we could actually host art galleries where they're digital, which is kind of like an NFT marketplace when you think about it. But for those that aren't interested in, minting out NFTs and going down that route, but they want to be able to sell their artwork online, they can still do that using the IPFS and keeps people from stealing them. And it's literally unstealable. I mean, the amount of work you'd have to go through to remove a watermark from an image, you may as well just buy it. It's probably cheaper. Oh, and same thing for musicians, because I know we have quite a few that are waiting for our marketplace to go live too. Those being watermarked, they're not technically watermarked, they're sample sized. So you would only get a sample from them. So whereas you see like Snoop Dogg and everybody getting all into music NFTs and selling their work there, this essentially just prevents people from ever stealing their music unless they own the rights to them. So it's literally going to be a game changer for any and every kind of art. besides welding. I don't know anything about welding. I don't think that's going to fix that, but you get the point.
Yeah, and I think the big reason for us building out our own IPFS system, or company, I guess would be the best way to put it. Smacking that. The main reason for us doing that is right now you have to rely on, I think the staple is Pinata is the main IPFS provider, and they're
IPFS or Pinata. Those are the two major competitors.
Yeah. So you've got those two, and people tend to use Pinata for the ease of access and the friendliness of the UI. But their rates aren't the greatest. They're not bad for the average user, but when you're talking about these large projects doing, say, 4K resolution NFTs, like their storage fees get very expensive, and
they're so slow. So like those that notice you get a little gamepad showing up on the Phoenix Explorer, that's why. It's because they're so slow that by the time it actually mints it, the mint went faster than the image could support it. So you get a little game controller because it's not pulling it up fast enough because those IPFS systems are super slow.
Yeah, so that's the big thing we're going to be working on resolving with that. But I'm excited to start building out the front end for all of that. I'm not looking forward to the back end, but front end's fun.
I usually like the back end, but to each his own.
Spaz, I saw your mouth move, but I think your mic is muted.
That was just me shouting at the kids.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how come you never bring the rabbit on camera? Did you finally eat it?
No, I did not eat the rabbit, although I'm tempted to, as my carpet deteriorates more and more.
By now, your rabbit probably just tastes like plastic.
Probably. Oh, that thing. I will say, I do not recommend a rabbit as a pet. They are very destructive, and they are cute, but they are very annoying.
Hey, so this kind of goes along with that. So when we moved into our new apartment on Thursday, we brought my cat over on like our second trip over, and she was freaked out, to be expected, animals in a new place, whatever. So she decided to curl up in her litter box for 3 hours. And then when I finally coaxed her out, she decided she was... Oh, I thought you were talking to me for a second. I forgot your dog's name was Jack, too. It was like...
Oh, I thought I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
You can still hear me. Oh, shit. I mean...
There's a mute button, Fluffy.
Me too.
We're gonna start.
But I have one on my microphone as well, so I've been
just click the mute button in Telegram.
So much for Rxbbn's story.
Well, so anyway, so finally coaxed her out of her litter box after about 3 hours when we started getting everything all settled, and then we got stuff in place, like our couch, TV, all of that good stuff. And I was looking around because I hadn't seen my cat in like an hour. I'm like, oh, did she escape? No, the door's been closed for the past 2 hours. All good. And then I look in the fireplace. She had been sleeping and rolling around in ash and soot, and that cat hates baths. I don't have any scratches right now, but like I picked her up, put her in the kitchen sink, started rinsing her off, and she was screaming at me. And so if you have a fireplace, or if you're moving to a new place and have a fireplace in that house or apartment, block it off before you introduce a new animal. It took me like an hour to get all the ash out of her fur, and biggest pain. 0 out of 10, do not recommend.
Fluffy, you're still muted.
There we go. Now, yeah, my settings get all jacked up because usually I use Cototagram, but then I switched over to my Telegram app, and Yeah. So I hadn't adjusted the settings yet. So this whole time I've been talking, you guys have been hearing me when I thought I was muted.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
about
kept
all the bad-
muting you occasionally.
Sorry about all the bad things I was saying about you, Spaz.
Used to it by now. It's fine.
I'm just kidding. I didn't say anything bad.
Let's see here. So I
Oh,
guess
that's such a great shirt. You know, it's funny. I know Jack has Robin has one or two of them. Did you ever give BJ his?
as soon as I see him, he'll have his. I haven't seen him since I left BitBoy Crypto over a month ago now. So I've got to catch up with him because he's not like he literally passes by my complex on his way home.
There's so many inappropriate things I could say right now, but I'm just going to mute myself and step away from the microphone.
Good. This isn't Tin Lizzy's.
Step away from the microphone.
And if you ever go to a restaurant with Fluffy and there's a chalkboard, block him because he will start trying to erase things on that chalkboard to make it fit what he wants it to say.
I wonder if it still says tits on the chalkboard.
I kind of hope it does because you did it just enough where somebody wouldn't notice it.
Oh, bye, Joe. I see Joe has left the building.
I'm pretty sure it's still
Now
there.
the party
It's
can
not
really
across the
start.
place.
Hyperion's going to
Talk
break
about-
into the skeleton.
Talk about weird places. You were saying your cat hides at. I found one of the kittens in one of my sneakers. Didn't know she was in there. I went to slide my foot in the sneaker, and then I heard a row. I was like, "Why are you in my shoe?"
Yeah, I completely understand that. My cat is a menace to society.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk out of my bed.
I got a ferret. Try dealing with that for a day. They
Yeah,
get
no thanks.
angry.
I'm good. Yeah, you
Oh,
keep
I
that
heard-
ferret.
I heard ferrets were really, really mischievous, like little buttholes, if you will.
Yeah, she's a terrorist. And then she likes to terrorize our dogs, too. And it's funny because we have like a 150-pound dog, 100-pound dog, and she just runs all over them.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a little runt of a ferret.
Don't you have a possum living in the back as well?
Yeah, I've been trying to convince my ferret that the possum is its mother so they can go live together. But, yeah, no, she's not having that.
Oh, goodness. My uncle would have been trying to cook it by now.
Well, my dogs have been grabbing it, and I have to go pull the possum out of their mouths all the time. So it's a lot of fun, especially since the possum's like all teeth and hey, yeah. That being said, I probably will not be on episode 6 because I am taking a small vacation to go snorkel. I don't even know what it's called, but anyways, it's snorkeling and spearfishing at the same time.
Snorkel fishing.
That's awesome.
I'm going to catch me that great white shark one day.
Oh, on another quick tangent. So, if anyone has a micro center near them, stumbled upon these drinks that are apparently older drinks, but I highly recommend it. It's called Balls.
Yes, balls.
It's so good. And the best part, I don't have the receipt next to me, I don't think, but the best part is when you go through checkout, the SKU, so like the identifier number for the item is ball, SAQ. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh my gosh.
BJ was the one that pointed that out to me. That's the
Was
funniest part.
Wait, did you just say spell out ball sack?
Yes, that's
Yeah, I'll be the one that says it. I don't care. Children don't watch this show.
Yeah.
No, we do not.
Highly recommend. It's really good stuff.
I can't
So
bring
you
that
you
receipt
enjoy the
home.
taste of balls. Good to know.
Yes. Yep.
I can't bring that receipt home. I've been out purchasing ball sacks. That's It's not gonna work.
But yeah, their root beer's pretty solid, but the original's the best one in my opinion.
So how many of those balls can you handle in a day?
About 12.
You know, I'm
6
going to go
beers,
on
if you will.
You know, I could go on all day with this, right?
And I'm going to quickly regret introducing this drink to the masses.
Yeah, chug those balls.
Phoenix is bringing balls back.
Yeah, because it was popular. Do you guys remember FPS Doug?
Maybe you can get
Anyone?
sponsored by balls.
Jeez. So pure ownage. That was the show that Balls was really popular on for a little bit of history of gaming.
We should definitely send a copy of this video to Balls so they can see you.
Balls, please sponsor me.
So you can have a mouthful of balls every day of the week.
Can you imagine your pitch to them? Why I need ball sacks to sponsor me?
This is not broadcasting as we know it, folks. This
is definitely going live. We need a new corporate sponsor since Red Bull's been.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you all again next week for the 6th weekly broadcast. Wishing every member of the family a fantastic week, and we'll see you in chat.
See you in chat.